But other things, if you need any help, you run into any pitfalls, then it's either you get an inflated rate, and then because I'm not the type where I want to pay extra, I'm like, if I can't afford it with cash, I'm not doing it. So that's the way I had to do everything. But I was like that before I opened up my business. When I opened up my business, you know, I had to take out credit in just my name. It was never shared, you know, so my credit was strong on its own to be able to do what I did. But that was a shared experience that I was sharing with my partner. So I didn't get the same reciprocation at all in the marriage. I mean, you know, just there was a lot of setbacks, honeymoon setbacks. It was a lot. So I'm not going to go into the rest, but I had to overcome that obstacle and then wait my time, because I knew my time would come. I didn't sit there like, oh my God, why are you doing me? No, I just got rid of the person. Tried to do counseling first, but he played with the counselor, so it was like he's just not ready. So I was like, well, what can I do? He's just not ready, you know. So I had to terminate that and then move on with my life and for me and my son. And then the terrorism started with that person, so I just kept going anyway. But that was a major obstacle, you know, that I had to deal with. So you can't control the obstacles, you know, so you can't control if somebody tries to do you wrong. Sometimes you could look for preventative strategies, like if I never invited him to come into the house because my son was trying to get him to come in the house, you know, then that incident would have never occurred. But because I thought the threat had gone away, because once we were no longer together, it looked like things looked like they were getting better. But it was just a tactic they told me when I did counseling. So it's something I didn't see, but I learned about after the fact. So you can't control the obstacles, but you can control how you cope with the obstacles and how you handle them. Okay, so I control my responses. I have to decide what's best for you, what's best for your situation. And then you have to make the moves that will work for you and your family, if you have a family, you know, and you gotta be patient, you know, things don't build overnight. So just give yourself a realistic goal. And sometimes you have to do research on the average time that it takes to build something, whatever you're trying to build. And look at things as progress, not perfection, you know, so it's not gonna be perfect. It's progress. So if you're one step closer to what you was, that means, for instance, let's say if you're trying to go to college, but nobody in your family ever went to college. If you pick up the phone to that college to start asking questions, that's step one. Okay? And you don't need people to believe in you. If you want to do it, you do it. Declutter your mind. That's very important. Being overwhelmed is not the way to go. I've been there every once in a while because of, you know, like I said, I went to Iraq, so I do have some things that came back with me. So decluttering my mind is one of those things where, you know, I get anxiety, I get panic attacks, you know, I get a lot headaches, you know, there's some things that happen, ringing in the ears, and just my mind sometimes can be very overwhelming for me. So I have to declutter it. So that's why I'm big on counselors, because they can teach you strategies that when you get in that moment, what can you do? How can I reduce the panic attacks? How can I reduce the anxiety attacks? Because they come out of nowhere, or they come under certain circumstances. So I'm more like the coping. How do I deal with it? And because, you know, I follow instructions well, it helps. You know, it doesn't get rid of the issues. It just it helps me in the moment when I need it, so I can get through it. See how God works? He don't take stuff from you. He helps you get through things, but you have to also do your due diligence in getting the tools and the resources that you need to be able to knock that thing down, so you can keep progressing forward. Let's see what else I have. And then you want to analyze and review the obstacle. Okay, so certain obstacles, if they come into your life, you gotta make your choices on what's your review of it. Is it worth holding on to? Can you get rid of it? Stuff like that. So dealing with sexual assault, I knew I couldn't live with that. I had to move forward, and because I didn't want to have a life where I'm bitter or angry or mad or sad, or, you know, feeling traumatized or being victimized or feeling like one. So I was like, nope, we get this help. I'm dealing with my son. I'm not going to allow that to tear up my love life or my friendships or anything like that. And I'm not going to allow that act of terrorism to sit up there and cause harm, and to where it impacts my life to where I cannot move forward, or if I mentally refuse to move forward. So you want to do that because you need to, here's your goal. You get knocked back, but you must move forward no matter what goes on. Okay? And don't blame God when things happen, because man has free will. Everybody always try to blame, why would God do this? And la, 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 la. He didn't do it. The person that did, that did the action chose to do that. And then that's going to be their lesson or blessing. Unfortunately, it harms someone else. Okay? And then the main thing you don't want to do, if it's an obstacle that inflicts harm on you while you're on your journey, you do not want to sit up there and wish, think, or invoke any harm on that person. Because let me tell you something, what I'm learning now, God will give them a spiritual, physical whooping. You don't have to do nothing. All you have to do is keep doing you, keep being you, and keep moving forward, and make sure you have the tools to make sure your heart, your mind, your spirit, and you are physically okay. That's all you need to do. Let God work out the details of how that person's going to deal. He's going to deal with that person. That's not your responsibility to think about how to deal with that person. You got to let them go, let them do what they need to do. Got away with it because I should have put him in prison, but hey, I chose not to. I wanted to move forward, and sometimes I just had, the main thing behind that was I had so much scarcity, I was scared about going to court, because it's like I have to tell these strangers what he did to me blow by blow, and then try to go in there and pretend like I don't have emotions to not be seen as weak, and I couldn't do it. My thing is, what's my alternative? Get help, move on, try to get it done, so I don't internalize it and then struggle to where I can't move forward and be the best version of myself or bounce back. So doing the work allows you to bounce back and recover. Don't sit on it. Don't wait. Don't huddle in the corner. Don't hermit to where you're doing yourself a disservice. Get out there, kick the devil's butt, but do it in a way where you are doing good, where you are doing what's right. Because when you do what's right, God will bless your path. I have more blessings after that to where I can't look at that. I can't look back at that. You get what I'm saying? I'm forced to have to deal with the person because of certain circumstances, which people who know me know. But I know how to handle it in a way to where there's no bitterness, there's no friction. I don't try to bring friction to the situation, even if he tries to invoke it because he's trying to, get the control back, But doing counseling, they help you learn how to take that control and put it all under your thumb, so that you're not the one running around trying to argue with somebody that's trying to provoke you all the time. Because remember, when somebody causes harm to you and then provokes you on top of that, come on, that's a lot to take, right? So you need to get the tools to fight back in a good way, though. So that's what I did. I got the good way, and then I moved on. So, okay, so I think we've got stay committed to what you're focusing on. Let's see. We talked, I think, everything. Don't delay. Whenever there's an obstacle, the faster you get over it, the better. Don't turn a blind eye to the issues you need to fix, or that you need to handle to become better. Only take responsibility for your own actions. Do not take responsibility for another person's, and don't figure it out and don't care. Because when a person has harmed you, they planned it, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you shouldn't want to do anything about it. You should just want to move forward. Okay, that person showed me who they are. I'm going to trust and believe through the actions that they chose to take, who they are, and I'm going to move on. Don't put yourself through that extra mental stuff, because all you're doing is cluttering your brain with stuff it does not need. And you're causing yourself, you're self-sabotaging, because you're keeping yourself way back there where you need to be focused on where you're going. Because remember, when God has something planned for you, there will be an obstacle. Okay? But you can't stay and fester and become a pessimistic person because of your obstacle. You have to get out there and figure out, how am I going to recover? Okay? Have discussions. You know, what helped me with different situations in my life is talking. Tell people that you trust, you know, what you're going through, but make sure they're good and compatible for you, because people can mess you up too. If you're already messed up, like going through some spiritual, mental, or issues of being harmed, other people could come in and cause further damage. So you got to be very, very careful of who you plan to talk to. You know, that's what I'm about, counselors. But anyway, let's see. I hope that I helped cover this situation. I'm going to ask my sister-in-law, did I do a good job far as what she was looking for from me? You know, because I tend to talk and I try to stay on topic, you know, stuff like that. And sometimes I'm good at it, sometimes I'm not. That's why, for once, I took some notes to try to stay on topic. Just, you know, at the end of the day, don't exacerbate the situation. You know, just don't make things worse. Just, if there's a barrier, knock it down so you can move forward. Okay? Remember, I'm going to end with this. I'm going to close with this. Life is a game of chess. Okay? You have your pieces. Your opponent has your piece. Okay? So my opponent, the person who caused harm, he had his own piece to move. He chose to do something, and then there is consequences and rewards, you know, to how we live our life. My side, same thing. I move my chess pieces. Sometimes one might get knocked off the board, but I have more chess pieces to play with, you know, to make decisions with, you know, and I can get consequences or rewards. Okay? And you don't want to stay in anything that's going to bring quarrels, you know, because why? It's not going to make the situation better. Something I tell my son all the time is, think about your actions. Now, is it going to hurt the situation, or is it going to make the situation better? Think about it. Okay? It's not worth making it worse, right? So what can we do to make things better? Okay? How can we change it? Yeah. Think in the pattern of always learning. Never feel like you have all the answers, you know, and appreciate people's differences. That's how I'm going to end this. Thank you. You will be betrayed in life. Get over it. Know that it will happen at some point, you know, especially when you're growing, you know, because the devil's like, I got to stop this person from getting where they need to go. What can I do to set them back? Because I see greatness in this person. Remember, God brought you here for a reason. You have greatness. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter what you've done. Everybody is worthy of forgiveness. But now you have to decide, what is your next chess piece move? What is your next move with that situation? Do they stay? Do they go? Can it be healed? What does that look like? And then you got to move forward, because you have something to offer someone else. And you can't offer it if you're in a place of just thinking traumatic thoughts and having your head, you know, in some type of suppressive mode, you know. Don't do it to yourself. Just get up, make your plan, you know, and work towards that, and believe in you, and get around other people who believe in you, and share your information with people you know that's going to give you positive feedback. Or not just positive, you want constructive criticism too, because we all have room for improvement. But don't let criticism stop you or make you feel less than, or don't take criticism if it's constructive and it's from somebody who's done it. Don't take it as a threat. Everybody can improve something in their life or somewhere. So that's all. God bless you. Thank you so much for coming back.